90-Day Fiancé Jenny Slatin and Sumit Singh's big move is surprising. Did they move to the U.S.? Jenny Slatin and Sumit Singh's relationship has always been one of the most emotionally intense, controversial, and unforgettable love stories in the entire 90-Day Fiancé franchise. From the moment their romance was revealed, fans were divided, some rooting for their love against all odds, while others questioned whether their relationship could ever truly survive the immense cultural, familial, and personal obstacles standing in their way. Despite everything, Jenny and Sumit continued to choose each other again and again, even when it seemed easier to walk away. Jenny quickly forgave Sumit when he finally confessed to the truth, a decision that many viewers found both admirable and heartbreaking. Sumit admitted that he had been hiding a massive secret, one that changed the course of their relationship forever. His parents had never approved of Jenny, largely because of the couple's nearly 30-year age gap. In traditional Indian culture, this kind of age difference is considered deeply inappropriate, especially when it involves a younger man and an older foreign woman. Unable to accept the relationship, Sumit's parents took matters into their own hands and arranged a marriage for him with a woman of their choosing. Despite being married, Sumit continued his relationship with Jenny in secret. Their romance carried on long distance, filled with daily phone calls, emotional promises, and reassurances that one day they would be together. Jenny believed Sumit when he said that his family issues would eventually be resolved, and she trusted him enough to uproot her life and move to India during The Other Way Season 1. What Jenny didn't know at the time was that Sumit had still not told his parents about her move or the full truth about his first marriage. Sumit was born and raised in Delhi, deeply immersed in Indian traditions and family expectations. When Jenny arrived in India in The Other Way Season 1, she believed she was starting a new chapter with the man she loved. Instead, she unknowingly stepped into a situation filled with lies, secrecy, and emotional landmines. Sumit had not only hidden Jenny's arrival from his parents, but he had also completely kept her in the dark about his first marriage. The revelation left Jenny devastated, confused, and questioning everything she thought she knew about their relationship. For a long time, Sumit lived a double life. He divided his time between staying with Jenny and visiting his parents' home, carefully managing lies and excuses to keep both worlds separate. This exhausting arrangement eventually collapsed when his in-laws discovered the truth. Once everything was exposed, the consequences were severe, leading to confrontations, legal proceedings, and immense emotional strain for everyone involved. After it was decided that Sumit would move forward with divorcing his first wife, he began living openly with Jenny in a bungalow located in the state of Uttar Pradesh, India. This move symbolized a major step forward for the couple, a declaration that they were finally choosing each other, regardless of the fallout. However, the emotional scars from years of deception and family conflict didn't disappear overnight. In 90-Day Fiancé The Other Way Season 2, fans were given a rare glimpse into a more hopeful phase of Jenny and Sumit's life together. The couple participated in a traditional Hindu house blessing ceremony at their home in Noida, India. The ceremony was rich with symbolism and cultural meaning, representing purification, protection, and a fresh start. A priest stood at the entrance of the house, guiding Jenny and Sumit through a series of rituals that had been practiced for generations. During the ceremony, the priest poured water into their hands using a leaf, instructing them to wave their hands above their heads as a symbolic gesture to cleanse negative energy. Sumit explained that the purpose of the ritual was to purify the home, remove any lingering bad luck, and invite peace and positivity into their new life together. The blessing included Sanskrit chants, the carrying of a flower pot on Jenny's head, a sign of prosperity and strength, and even the unexpected appearance of a cow inside the house, which is considered sacred in Hindu culture. Despite these hopeful moments, life in India continued to be challenging for the couple. Cultural differences, financial struggles, and ongoing tension with Sumit's parents weighed heavily on their relationship. At one point, Jenny and Sumit seriously considered relocating to Thailand as a potential escape from the pressures they faced in India. fellow 90 Day Fiancé stars David Toborowski and Annie Suwan even offered their fully furnished condo in Jomtien Beach as a possible new home. David, who had transitioned into a career as a real estate agent, proudly showcased the one-bedroom condo during a segment on 90 Day Diaries. The unit, priced at 2.1 million Thai baht, was modern, cozy, and located just steps away from the beach. Its foreign ownership status made it especially attractive to Jenny, who had faced visa limitations and legal uncertainties while living in India. The idea of starting over in Thailand represented freedom, peace, and stability, things Jenny and Sumit desperately craved. However, after much consideration, they ultimately decided to stay in India, choosing familiarity and family over another drastic move. It was a decision rooted in hope that things could finally improve. In a surprising turn of events revealed during a January 2024 episode of 90 Day Diaries, Sumit's mother, Sana, officially accepted Jenny as her daughter-in-law. For years, Sana had been one of the most vocal opponents of their relationship. She had openly criticized Jenny, questioned her intentions, and even threatened to disown Sumit after he secretly married her. Her sudden change of heart shocked fans and left many wondering whether this acceptance was genuine or simply a temporary truce. The emotional moment brought tears to both Sumit and Jenny, who had long dreamed of family harmony. While some viewers remained skeptical, others hoped this marked the end of years of hostility. In the latest season of 90 Day Fiancé, Jenny and Sumit moved into a clean, well-maintained apartment inside a gated community. Although the new place was smaller than their previous bungalow, it offered safety, stability, and a sense of comfort they hadn't experienced in a long time. The decision to downsize was driven by rising rent costs and the deteriorating condition of their former home. Financial pressures increased when Sumit lost his restaurant job, making it harder for them to maintain their previous lifestyle. Despite these challenges, there was a silver lining. Jenny and Sana grew noticeably closer over the past 15 months, building a tentative bond that once seemed impossible. Feeling the weight of financial responsibility, Sumit confided in his mother and asked 65-year-old Jenny to consider working. Sana surprisingly agreed, signaling a new level of respect and understanding. The family dynamic slowly began to shift, replacing resentment with cooperation. In a recent 90 Day Fiancé spin-off episode, Jenny and Sumit renewed their vows to celebrate their 3-year wedding anniversary. This time, Sumit's parents, Sana and Yanil, attended the ceremony, a stark contrast to their original wedding, which was met with anger and resistance. The renewal symbolized not only their enduring love, but also the gradual healing of family wounds. With Sumit still unemployed and struggling to find work due to a lack of formal chef training, his parents offered the couple a place to stay. Although Jenny was initially upset that Sumit accepted the offer without consulting her, she ultimately understood how meaningful it was for him to reconnect with his parents. Choosing to support her husband, Jenny agreed to move in with Sana and Anil, embracing this new chapter despite her past trauma. Now, Jenny appears to be genuinely happy with Sumit in the United States. In recent photos, the couple looks relaxed, joyful, and deeply in love. They pose together with radiant smiles, looking remarkably content and at peace. After years of hardship, their happiness feels well-earned. They've endured relentless judgment, emotional abuse, and constant uncertainty. Life in India was often stressful for Jenny, especially due to the harsh treatment she received from Sumit's parents. She was criticized for her age, her lifestyle, and her inability to fit into their expectations of a traditional daughter-in-law. While cultural differences played a role, the cruelty she faced was deeply personal. Jenny's strength and perseverance were remarkable. Many people would have walked away, but she stayed because she loved Sumit and believed in their future. Sumit, too, faced his own battles, torn between family loyalty and the woman he loved. For a long time, it seemed like he might fail her, but he didn't. Sumit married Jenny, stood by her, and continues to show his commitment. He appears more relaxed and confident, possibly embracing the freedom and opportunities that life in the U.S. offers. With a new hairstyle showcasing his natural curls and a lighter demeanor, Sumit looks like a man who has finally found peace. Both Jenny and Sumit look transformed, emotionally and physically. Their journey has been anything but easy, but they've emerged stronger, more united, and more hopeful than ever. After everything they've been through, their happiness feels truly deserved, marking a rare and satisfying happy ending in the world of 90 Day Fiancé. Jenny Slatton and Sumit Singh's love story has long stood out as one of the most emotionally charged, polarizing, and unforgettable journeys in the entire 90 Day Fiancé universe. From the very beginning, their relationship sparked intense debate among fans. Some viewers admired their devotion and rooted for their love to conquer every obstacle, while others doubted whether their bond could realistically survive the overwhelming cultural, familial, and personal challenges stacked against them. Even so, through heartbreak, betrayal, and relentless pressure, Jenny and Sumit repeatedly chose one another, proving that walking away was never as easy as outsiders assumed. When Sumit finally confessed the truth about his past, Jenny chose forgiveness, a decision that left many viewers torn between respect for her emotional strength and sadness over what she endured. Sumit revealed that he had been hiding a life-altering secret. His parents had never accepted Jenny because of their nearly 30-year age difference. In many traditional Indian households, such an age gap is viewed as unacceptable, particularly when the woman is significantly older and from another country. Determined to stop the relationship, Sumit's parents arranged his marriage to a woman they believed was a more suitable match. Despite being legally married, Sumit continued his relationship with Jenny in secret. Their connection survived through long-distance communication, late-night calls, emotional promises, and constant reassurance that their love would eventually prevail. Jenny trusted Sumit's words and believed his assurances that family complications would be resolved in time. That trust led her to make one of the biggest decisions of her life, leaving everything behind to move to India during The Other Way Season 1. What she didn't realize was that Sumit still hadn't told his parents she was coming, nor had he been honest with her about the reality of his marriage. Born and raised in Delhi, Sumit was deeply shaped by Indian traditions, family loyalty, and societal expectations. When Jenny arrived in India, she believed she was finally beginning a shared future with the man she loved. Instead, she unknowingly walked into a web of secrecy, half-truths, and emotional turmoil. Sumit had concealed not only her presence from his family, but also the existence of his first marriage. When the truth finally surfaced, it shattered Jenny emotionally, leaving her hurt, disoriented, and questioning the foundation of their relationship. For months, Sumit lived a double life, splitting his time between his parents' home and the place he shared with Jenny. He relied on excuses and lies to keep both worlds from colliding. Eventually, the strain became unbearable, and his in-laws uncovered the truth. What followed were confrontations, legal disputes, and intense emotional fallout that affected everyone involved. Once the decision was made for Sumit to pursue a divorce, he began living openly with Jenny in a bungalow in Uttar Pradesh. This move symbolized a turning point, a public commitment to Jenny, and a willingness to face the consequences. Still, years of deception and conflict had left emotional scars that didn't fade easily. During The Other Way Season 2, viewers saw a more hopeful side of their relationship. Jenny and Sumit took part in a traditional Hindu house blessing ceremony at their home in Noida. The ritual, rich in symbolism, represented cleansing, protection, and new beginnings. Guided by a priest, the couple followed age-old customs meant to drive away negativity and invite harmony into their home. Water was poured into their hands using a leaf, Sanskrit chants filled the space, Jenny balanced a pot of flour on her head to symbolize prosperity, and even a sacred cow appeared, an unexpected but culturally meaningful moment. Despite these positive steps, daily life in India remained difficult. Financial instability, cultural misunderstandings, and lingering tension with Sumit's parents continued to test their relationship. At one point, the couple seriously considered relocating to Thailand to start fresh. Fellow 90 Day Fiancé stars David Tabarovsky and Annie Suwan offered their condo in Jomtien Beach as a possible solution. David, now working as a real estate agent, showcased the furnished one-bedroom condo during 90 Day Diaries. Priced at 2.1 million Thai baht, the unit's beachside location and foreign ownership status made it especially appealing, particularly given Jenny's visa struggles in India. Thailand represented freedom, calm, and stability, everything the couple had been lacking. Still, after much deliberation, Jenny and Sumit decided to remain in India, hoping that persistence and patience would eventually bring peace. A major shift occurred in January 2024 on 90 Day Diaries, when Sumit's mother, Sana, officially accepted Jenny as her daughter-in-law. For years, Sana had fiercely opposed the relationship, openly criticizing Jenny and even threatening to cut ties with her son after the secret marriage. Her sudden change of heart shocked fans and stirred skepticism, but it also brought long-awaited emotional relief to the couple. Not long after, Jenny and Sumit moved into a smaller but well-kept apartment within a gated community. While it lacked the space of their previous bungalow, it offered security and comfort. Rising rent costs and the poor condition of their former home made downsizing necessary, especially after Sumit lost his restaurant job. Financial pressure mounted, but unexpectedly, Jenny and Sana began forming a tentative bond over time. With stress building, Sumit spoke honestly with his mother and suggested that 65-year-old Jenny consider working. Sana agreed, marking a noticeable shift in attitude and respect. Slowly, resentment gave way to cooperation. In a later spin-off episode, Jenny and Sumit renewed their vows for their 3-year anniversary. This time, Sana and Sumit's father, Anil, attended the ceremony, something unimaginable during their original wedding. The vows' renewal symbolized healing, growth, and the endurance of their love. Still unemployed and struggling to find stable work, Sumit accepted his parents' offer for the couple to live with them. Although Jenny was initially hurt that he agreed without discussing it, she chose to support him, understanding how important reconciliation was for his emotional well-being. Today, Jenny appears genuinely happy with Sumit in the United States. Recent photos show a relaxed, joyful couple who look at peace after years of struggle. Life in India had often been painful for Jenny, especially due to judgment and harsh treatment from Sumit's parents. She was criticized for her age, her lifestyle, and her inability to meet traditional expectations. Yet, Jenny endured because of love. Sumit ultimately chose her. He married her, stayed by her side, and now seems more confident and free. With a refreshed look and calm demeanor, he appears to be embracing a new chapter. 90 Day Fiancé Jenny Slatin and Sumit Singh's big move is surprising. Did they move to the U.S.? Jenny quickly forgave Sumit when he finally confessed to the truth. Sumit and Jenny's 30-year age gap was not okay for his parents, so they married him off to a woman of their choice. However, Sumit continued dating Jenny long distance until she came to India in The Other Way Season 1. Sumit was born and raised in Delhi. When Jenny moved to India in The Other Way Season 1, Sumit had not told his parents about her decision. He also kept Jenny in the dark about his first marriage. Sumit used to make trips between his accommodation with Jenny and his parents' house until he was finally caught by his in-laws. Once it was decided that he would get divorced from his first wife, Sumit began living with Jenny in a bungalow in the state of Uttar Pradesh, India. In 90 Day Fiancé's TOW Season 2, fans got a glimpse of Jenny and Sumit's traditional Hindu house blessing ceremony at the Noida house. As part of the ritual, a priest stood at the entrance and guided them through several symbolic customs before they could step into their new home. He poured water into their hands using a leaf and instructed them to wave their hands above their heads. Sumit explained that the ceremony was meant to purify the space and remove negative energy. The blessing involved Sanskrit chants, a flower pot Jenny carried on her head, and even a surprise cow indoors. Jenny and Sumit considered relocating to Thailand, with David Toborowski and Annie Suwan offering their condo in Jomtien Beach as a potential home. David, now a real estate agent, showcased the fully furnished one-bedroom unit priced at 2.1 million Thai baht to Jenny and Sumit during a segment on 90 Day Diaries. The condo's proximity to the beach and its foreign ownership status made it an appealing option for the couple, especially given their challenges in India. Despite the enticing offer, Jenny and Sumit ultimately decided to remain in India, continuing their journey together. Jenny and Sumit have moved in with his parents. In a surprising turn of events revealed in a January 2024 episode of 90 Day Diaries, Sumit's mother, Sana, officially accepted Jenny as her daughter-in-law. For years, Sana strongly opposed their relationship, even going so far as to threaten to disown Sumit after he secretly married Jenny. However, she changed her stance. The emotional moment touched both Sumit and Jenny, though some fans remained skeptical about whether this acceptance would lead to lasting peace in the family. In the latest season of 90 Day Diaries, Sumit and Jenny moved into a clean, well-maintained apartment inside a gated community. Though smaller than their old bungalow, it was a more comfortable and secure option. They chose to downsize due to rising rent and the deteriorating condition of their former home. Even so, the new place was still expensive, especially after Sumit lost his restaurant job. On the upside, Jenny and Sumit's mother, Sana, have grown close over the past 15 months. Feeling the pressure, Sumit confided in his mom and asked 65-year-old Jenny to consider working, and Sana agreed. "When we live together, we will have good times together." In the latest 90 Day Fiancé spin-off episode, Sumit and Jenny renewed their vows for their 3-year anniversary. This time, Sumit's parents, Sana and Anil, were part of the ceremony, unlike the first wedding. They offered Sumit a place to stay since he was still unemployed, as many jobs he applied for required trained chefs. Jenny was upset that Sumit accepted their offer without consulting her, but she understood how important it was to him. Supporting her husband, Jenny agreed to move in with Sana and Anil, embracing this new chapter together. Jenny appears to be happy with Sumit in the USA. In fact, she appears to be elated to be living her dream life with a man she really loves. In the picture above, the duo pose for the camera, with both looking remarkably content. They've been through so much, and their life as a couple hasn't always been easy. However, their worst problems now seem to be over. Jenny wrote, "While she poses a question that a lot of people can relate to, the picture tells another story. She's obviously thrilled to be with Sumit in America. For Jenny, life in India was often stressful. Sumit's parents judged her, making her feel subhuman. They were really mean. Jenny's a strong person, but anyone would be appalled if they were treated that way. She was too old for them and not domestic enough. She didn't fit their ideal of what a daughter-in-law should be." However, some of that was probably cultural. While differences in cultures are real and should be respected, it wasn't Jenny's fault that she didn't fit the mold. She hung in there, withstanding verbal abuse from her parents that would probably make a lot of people run away. Why? Well, she loves Sumit. She was in it for the long haul, wanting a marriage and the proverbial happy ending. The issue is that Sumit had a lot of problems to solve before he could make that dream a reality. It seemed like Sumit would let her down. However, he didn't. He eventually married Jenny, and he's still with her. He appears to truly love his American partner. He seems very chilled out, perhaps reveling in the freedom that life in the USA can bring. He's showing off a new hairstyle with gorgeous natural curls. Both of them look great. They've transformed their lives, and the 90 Day Fiancé stars seem to be having more fun this year than ever before. They deserve their hard-won happiness.